one of the rumors that I heard early, and I don't buy it, and I won't believe it, and I don't think anyone out there should. There was whisper, and there still is whisper, about Bryce Harper joining the Colorado Rockies. Luke, first initial thoughts on this as well as what you've heard so far.
I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, if it did, that bat in there with Arenado and Trevor Story, I mean,
Charlie Blackmon.
Charlie Blackmon, that would be insane. His family, he's from Las Vegas, so it would be close by. He would obviously love to play in Coors Field. One interesting thing is he said he'd be willing to play first base because the Rockies outfield is full. He had a poor defensive season last season. I don't know what he looked like at first base, but we have a history of trying out random guys at first base, so we'll see what happens.
And the thing with that, though, I will point out, the game that he took some infield practice at first base against was the New York Yankees, who need a first baseman as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing it out there. The draw to New York, a little bit bigger than the draw to Denver. That's just
Definitely.
the way that it goes. Chris, you talk about Bryce Harper, one of the biggest names in baseball. What kind of an effect would that have on Colorado as a baseball city, as a baseball state, rather?
Honestly, it would be huge. I think the Rockies already have a great fan base as far as really what they've given the fans in the past 10, 15 years. But it would be unimaginable, really. As you'd have Rockies fans crawling out of the woodworks and people you've never seen before.
Jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. Let's get it going. Ben, there's no way, right?
Oh, there's absolutely no chance ever that the Rockies are going to get Bryce Harper. But let's talk about if they did. They're not going to bring back Nolan Arenado if they do. And that's the one thing that I think is like the big linchpin of this deal is that they're not going to have the money to re-sign. If they sign Bryce Harper, like, I know it's the Monforts don't like to spend. A normal team won't have the money to pay Nolan Arenado what he deserves and what Bryce Harper is going to ask.
Or do you take, and this is just a scenario that we like to talk about, this is a video game scenario. Do you take Charlie Blackmon? Do you move Charlie Blackmon? Do you take some of those pieces that you're overpaying a little bit, you move them as well? Then you go and win a World Series or at least get to one. And you say, hey, Nolan, guess what, man? We're there. Hey, Trevor, guess what, man? We're there. Take $15 million less. Is that, Luke, something that you could realistically see happen, or is that what I said, a video game scenario?
I think it's a video game scenario because the thing is, we're moving those contracts because they're taking their money. You know, I mean, Charlie Blackmon, he's a great player. He's been paid a lot of money. He's not going to be moved. He's going to stay here all the way through that contract. Yeah. Ian Desmond, being paid a ton of money. No one's going to take that contract. You look at other guys like Jake McGee, Brian Shaw, Wade Davis, all the guys who are eating up the money that we're trying to move. In this scenario, no one's going to take that money, so we're going to have to take on the money in order to move them, so it's not really going to help in the end.
Well, video game scenario is always a fun thing for us to talk about.